Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am Workbreak MMA, and today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different today. I am going to be building the first UFC card under the new Paramount Plus deal. 14 fights, UFC 324. I'm excited to get into it. I think I got some exciting fights built up for that card. And as well as UFC Doha last week, I went 11-3 on my picks, and I completely swept the main card, calling the main event and co-main event almost to a T. So without further ado, let's get started into this video. Opening up the first Paramount card under the new deal, we have the most recent Ultimate Fighter welterweight winner, Daniil Donchenko, versus my number 56 ranked welterweight, Song Kanong. Song Kanong is a really good boxer, good power, and a solid chin, while Donchenko just won the most recent season of the Ultimate Fighter. He has really quick hands and a dynamic elbow game, where he finds multiple different ways to hit you with his elbows and cut you up with spinning attacks, throwing him up and down, throwing him down like an axe at you. He really does use his elbows in about every way you can imagine. He has a little bit questions about his cardio. He has some solid kicks as well. I think this would be a pretty entertaining fight between two strikers to open up the first card of the year. Up next on the card, we have the Pride of India, Anshul Jubilee, my number 80 ranked lightweight in the UFC, and the very entertaining Gage Young, my number 64 ranked lightweight in the UFC. Gage Young is an exciting pressure-based striker with good cardio, solid toughness, and solid power in the boxing as well. While Anshul Jubilee has a good takedown game and a good kickboxing game, which, if he can use smartly in this fight, could potentially give him some openings to win the fight. Anshul Jubilee obviously has all of India watching the card as well, so that'll bring in a lot of views to the card. And G Money, Gage Young, he always performs, always has entertaining fights, and I think this would be a fun, entertaining scrap. Now, for the first women's fight on the card, we got an entertaining clash of styles. We got Talita Alencar, my number 25 ranked strawweight, versus Carol Foro making her debut. Alencar is a really good grappler with some good jiu-jitsu and control when she gets you on the ground, while Foro is one of my favorite prospects coming out of the Dana White Contender Series this year. She is incredibly powerful with an Alex Pereira-esque lead hook. She ends up hurting chicks whenever she lands clean with her hooks or punches, everything like that. And as well as she has a dynamic kickboxing game where she has knocked people out with spinning wheel kicks, spinning body kicks, good leg kicks. She is a very dangerous striker, and I believe if anyone in strawweight stands up with Foro, they will be in trouble. Nonetheless, if Alencar can work the takedowns in this game, she has an opening to win, but we'll see. I think this is a very entertaining clash of styles here. Now at heavyweight, we have two of the best prospects coming at each other. We have Mario Pinto, my number 15 ranked heavyweight, versus Vitor Petrino, my number 18 ranked. Both had breakout performances on the same card on Charles Oliveira versus Mateusz Gamrot in Brazil. They both ended up getting finishes over respectable opponents. Petrino is very athletic and a powerful fighter with a karate-based style where he tends to dart in and use his powerful hands and leg kicks to immobilize you early. He has the speed and the boxing advantage in this fight in my mind, while Pinto, who will be the bigger fighter with more powerful hands, he has some good boxing skills as well, some okay kicks, really good athleticism for his size. And honestly, he has the wrestling advantage. He has very powerful wrestling when he gets on top, really good ground and pound, and he has some good submissions as well. Got a submission in his last fight over Jonata Deniz. I think this would be a very, very close fight, and I think either one of these guys would be set to have a top 10 fight, honestly, in the near future after this fight. Now, for the only fight so far that has been announced for this card, it'll be my early prelim headliner. A matchup at light heavyweight, we got my number 15 ranked Nikita Krylov versus my number 16 ranked Modestas Bukauskas. Krylov has had a rough go over the last 3 years. He had a long layoff and came back to get knocked out twice in the first round by some good competition, Dominic Reyes and Bogdan Guskov. While Modestas Bukauskas has some good boxing, some good wrestling, will be the sturdier, more built fighter in this fight. Nikita Krylov will have the speed advantage, I imagine, with the kicks, and maybe has a jiu-jitsu advantage as well in this fight. This will be a pretty close fight. It'll definitely see if Nikita Krylov is still top 15 level, and maybe Modestas Bukauskas will finally break through in the UFC and get into the top 15. Now, opening the prelims, we have two very entertaining veteran flyweights fighting off against each other, trying to get their names in the top 5 conversations. We have Tim Elliott, my number 10 ranked flyweight, and Charles Johnson, my number 11th ranked flyweight. Both have been in the UFC for a long time, going off of some solid win streaks right now over some good prospects and fighters that people thought would be better than they were. Tim Elliott has a unique boxing and kicking style on the feet where he has really great footwork and he hits you with punches and kicks that you normally do not see coming from the angles that they do, with a really good wrestling game and a really good jiu-jitsu game as well. He holds people down pretty well. His only loss in the last 4 years is Muhammad Mokaev. He has lost to only the best people in the UFC, and Charles Johnson will be the bigger fighter with more power and, in my mind, a little bit of a strength advantage as well. He has a pressure style where he just chases forward at you, teeps you in the body, leg kicks you, and hits you with some good boxing combinations when you're up against the cage. His ground game isn't as good as Tim Elliott's, but it's still good. He still has some good defensive wrestling and some good skills defensively on the ground. I think this would be a very entertaining fight between two veterans, and I think either one of them can get a top 7 to 8 matchup after this fight. Now, two young, exciting strikers in the bantamweight division. David Martinez, number 11th ranked, versus Vinicius Oliveira, my number 15th ranked. Oliveira is a big, chaotic, powerful bantamweight with a very unorthodox style where he throws almost everything into his punches every time he throws with not a whole lot of technique behind it. He has really good leg kicks and has some of the best takedown defense in the UFC, while Martinez has a fun, scrappy kickboxing style with some really good power in his hands, some good boxing combinations, and some really powerful kicks as well. If either one of these fighters landed a clean blow on you, they would be able to get a knockout on most fighters. This would be a very exciting fight, very exciting striking style. I think either one of these fighters can be in the top 5 here before too long. Now at women's bantamweight, a former champion trying to bounce back against an exciting young prospect, we have Raquel Pennington, my number 3 ranked women's bantamweight, versus Eileen Perez, my number 8 ranked UFC women's bantamweight. Raquel Pennington has some really good boxing combinations, defensively sound, good cardio, very tough, and has a respectable ground game defensively, while Eileen Perez is an exciting prospect at 155 pounds. She has really good wrestling, has a really good judo game. She has the advantage in the jiu-jitsu game in my mind, has some really good boxing combinations and kicks as well, as shown in her last fight. She is very tough and can scrap, and I think this would be a very entertaining fight, and it would see if Raquel Pennington was still a top 535 pounder in the world. Now, for my feature prelim of the card, I have a rematch of heavyweights. Curtis Razor Blades, number 4 ranked in the UFC, in my rankings as well, and Derek the Black Beast Lewis, number 8 in the UFC, and my rankings as well. This fight is really intriguing right now to me. Derek Lewis, you know him for having the most KOs in UFC history and flashy kicks, looping hooks, and overhands, but he has genuinely improved his wrestling and cardio game as well over the last 2 years. He has made vast improvements in his cardio game. He's learned to wrestle better. He's learned to fight a little bit smarter. While Blades is the most accomplished heavyweight grapplers in UFC history with the most takedowns landed in UFC history, as well as some of the best ground and pound in the UFC right now. He won't have the striking advantage shown in the last fight where Derek Lewis got a second round knockout. But with Derek Lewis's improvements in the wrestling game, this makes it a little bit more of an intriguing fight to me, as well as Curtis Blades improving his striking a little bit as well. I think this would be a great feature prelim and has some good name value to it as well. Now, opening up the main card between two featherweights looking to get a shot at the title, we have Yair Rodriguez, the number 3 ranked featherweight in my mind, and Arnold Allen, the number 6 ranked featherweight in my mind. Yair Rodriguez is one of the most entertaining kickboxers in the UFC roster right now. Very athletic and explosive, likes to use spinning attacks, and has great speed early on in the fights with his hands and his feet. While Arnold Allen is a well-rounded, explosive fighter with a great burst of boxing combinations that come at you quick, as well as very defensively sound game everywhere. Yair will have the speed, kicking, and jiu-jitsu advantage, while I believe that Arnold Allen will have the boxing, cardio, and wrestling advantage. I think this would be an awesome fight to watch, and I think it's been long overdue to happen in the UFC. Now, a fight at welterweight where two fighters are going to be looking to make a claim for a shot at the title. We have Shavkat Rakhmonov, my 4th ranked welterweight in the UFC, and Kamaru Usman, my 9th ranked welterweight in the UFC. Shavkat is undefeated in his career with a very strong wrestling and clinch game, with a solid trip game as well. He is not as good at shooting single and double leg takedowns as you would expect, but he is really good in the clinch and judo throw game. Has some really good kicks, some good knees in the clinch, as well as some really solid kicks as well as some good power on the feet with his hands. He has incredible finishing instincts where he can hurt and finish you in multiple different ways on the ground and on the feet. While Usman is one of the best wrestlers in the division right now and a top 3 welterweight of all time. He has good boxing pressure and some good power as well as great wrestling. He will have the better takedowns in this fight with single and double leg takedowns and the scrambles as well. He does really good when he's on top, looking for ground and pound finishes and working and grinding you out to a decision. This is a very interesting clash of wrestling styles, and I would be very intrigued to see how this fight would go right now in the UFC. In the feature bout, we have a UFC star looking to get a bounce back against a young fireball at 135 pounds. We have Sean O'Malley, my number 4 ranked bantamweight, versus Song Yadong, my number 5 ranked bantamweight. Sean O'Malley is a great distance kickboxer where he uses his long legs and arms to keep his opponents at his range where he can hit them without being hit. He uses feints as really well on the feet, faking shots like kicks and punches, while also having great teep kicks, fast kicks to the body and head, and also uses his boxing well at a distance, not really as good in the pocket as well in the boxing. With some okay ground game where he can work get-ups and defend takedowns against non-great wrestlers in the UFC. While Song Yadong is a very powerful boxer with some good boxing combinations, he mixes it up to the body and head really well, has some good kicks, and is overall very defensively sound on the feet, has some solid takedowns and can hold you down for a little bit, doesn't really have much of a submission game. This is going to be a very tough fight for Sean O'Malley. It's going to be whether or not he can keep Song Yadong at range, and I believe if Song gets boxing combinations done to the body, Sean O'Malley could be in a slight bit of trouble. This would be a very, very entertaining striking fight to see if either one of these guys are still able to compete for a title shot at 135 pounds. Now, in the co-main event of the first Paramount card, a heavyweight title fight rematch between the current champ Tom Aspinall and the number 1 contender Ciryl Gane. The first fight was very competitive early on, with Aspinall pressuring Gane and landing a few shots to the head, mainly landing some punches to the body as well as some really good kicks in the fight that we haven't got to see Aspinall throw a whole lot. And Ciryl Gane was doing a good job jabbing Tom Aspinall and circling the cage, avoiding the power punches, as well as hitting him with quick little leg kicks and body kicks to reset Tom Aspinall's movement forward. It was a very entertaining round, and it was looking to be one of the most fun heavyweight title fights in years. And then Ciryl Gane accidentally double eye poked Tom Aspinall, which one of the eye pokes ended up to leading to a no contest in the end of the fight. It was a terrible end of the fight, but the UFC heavyweight division has to go forward. Aspinall has the power, wrestling, and jiu-jitsu advantage, as well as the boxing advantage in my mind as well. While Gane is going to be the faster fighter with footwork and kicks, as well as going to be the safer fighter with avoiding damage. This fight will be very close again. It'll be if Gane can make a few adjustments and continue to avoid the danger of Aspinall, and whether or not Aspinall can finally close the distance and find that power shot. Hopefully this fight will get made soon, and hopefully it will get the heavyweight division rolling. Now, the first ever main event under the UFC Paramount deal will be the most star-studded main event that they can make in MMA right now between two fighters that genuinely hate each other. The lightweight champion Ilia Topuria and my number 5 ranked UFC lightweight Paddy Pimblett. What else can I say besides this is what the UFC wants in every single way imaginable? A pound-for-pound all-time great versus the UFC's arguable biggest star right now with Paddy Pimblett. With genuine hatred for each other that has started all the way back in Paddy Pimblett's second fight in the UFC.
Ilia Topuria is the best boxer in the UFC right now, with maybe the most underrated wrestling and judo game in the UFC. He has nukes for hands as well as a heavy boxing pressure style where he looks to get you close to the cage and rip powerful boxing combinations. While Paddy has a great karate like fighting stance where he springs forward with fast, long boxing combinations as well as some solid kicks. He has elite jiu-jitsu game as well as some solid takedowns as well. He is great at controlling fighters whenever he gets to the ground, and he is really good whenever he gets to your back. That would be a very dangerous situation for Ilya. Paddy has the size advantage and will be the biggest guy Ilya Topuria has ever fought. I think that could possibly play a factor into this fight. But if Ilya closes the distance like he does in every single fight, Paddy will be in danger because he is very hittable on the feet. But if Paddy Pimblett can use his long distance striking and his range to keep Ilya Topuria at range, that'll be his best option to win on the feet while shooting takedowns when he gets close. I think this would be the best main event possible for the UFC right now, and I think it would be one of the best fights in the UFC right now.
Hello everybody, thank you for making it to the end of the video. Make sure to like, comment, and share to one of your buddies. Make sure to leave a comment on what you think I can do better for these videos. My next video will be predicting UFC 323 in Las Vegas on the fights on that card. I hope you all have an amazing night.